Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FetchQuest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. I'm your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Liam
Hello.
and Brewer.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, before we start, could we order some food? I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse.
Yummers.
Yeah, sure. I'll just place a quick Grubhub order right quick.
Nah, that'll take too long. Let me make a call real quick. I got this.
Okay. If you got it, go for it.
Hello? STN? Yes, it's an actually important call this time. Hey, I paid for the subscription. I'll call you when I want. Thank you. Now, everything in order needs to be extra large, no ice in the drinks, and 6 to 7 packets of each condiment. Yeah, hate you too. Thanks. Okay, guys, should be here any minute.
Brewer, what the hell was that? Oh, look at that. Our food's here.
Who did you call, Brewer?
Oh, superhero dispatch network.
That line's for emergencies. Why did you call them?
I mean, you said you were hungry.
That's true, I guess.
Is that a horse?
Well, Liam said he could eat one.
I meant that metaphorically.
Okay. Brewer may have screwed up, but we got our food, so I guess we can start now.
Guy, let's kill the horse.
What? Hold on. Before we do that, we need to start talking about our delivery drivers, SDN, from the hit game Dispatch. And that brings us into today's topic, Dispatch, the new game that came out last year in 2025 that came out not out of nowhere, but kind of revitalized the storytelling decision-making genre that Telltale set for itself, and people are loving it. Boys, how's Dispatch for you?
I would rate my delivery driver like 5-star. Yeah, they did pretty good.
Yeah, pretty heat. What about you, Liam?
I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I'd give it like a solid 8 or 9.
Nice. Higher than a 6 and 7. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say, basically to explain what this game is, Dispatch, you play as Robert Robertson, who is a worker at SDN, a dispatcher for superheroes. Basically, it's like a a police department where you do actual dispatch work, where you have to send these superheroes to do either really big tasks or their most menial task ever. But the point is that you play as a dispatcher who is in charge of making sure that you are able to efficiently have these heroes do the tasks, so that you can get good ratings and just do well your job. And it does this while also being a storytelling decision-making game where your decisions through dialogue and actions throughout the game will affect the ending and how a lot of character outcomes turn out.
Yeah, especially because you're dispatching not like good and proper superheroes. It's kind of like the bottom of the barrel. So you're part of the Phoenix program, and you're trying to rehabilitate a lot of these, let's just say, B-grade heroes, or people that have also been straight up criminals at one point. So you're gonna have some issues when you have the not so perfect heroes getting dispatched for very important calls, and it's kind of your job to try and figure out the best way to train them, to improve their work, and also to make sure that they're effectively getting sent out to each location.
And the reason why Robert is able to do such is because he himself was actually one of the top grade superheroes at one point.
And he was not only that, he was part of a long line of superhero, basically a superhero family, and he gets into a bit of an accident, is not able to do his superhero work anymore because even though he is a superhero, he has no powers. And still wanting to do, good, he becomes an SDN dispatcher while also getting the added benefit of having his suit repaired. all the while, helping these criminals out. He has to keep his identity a secret for reasons.
Yeah. He's kind of like Tony Stark if he was broke and had to work a 9 to 5 to afford his Iron Man suit.
No, literally. Yeah, no, his
And
superhero
he was
name is
horny.
McMahon.
Sorry, you gotta add, and he was a lot hornier.
Yeah, that too.
Fair enough.
Because this game is very reminiscent of the Telltale style of game, which is basically just story-driven choice-based games where you are kind of in control of the story. You get to make decisions as Robert Robertson that change the outcome of the story based on like who you think Robert is, what you want to do, and it can range from like hitting someone with a glass of water or hitting someone with like alcohol and that has lasting consequences to like very major story decisions that will change over half the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's crazy to see.
Yeah, no, I love seeing the different endings and the different outcomes. Not only that, but the different decisions that people have and their mindsets going into it. The game, like these Telltale-like games, this is not actually developed by Telltale. To make a distinction, some of these people are actually ex-Telltale devs, and Telltale basically, unfortunately, it went under. But unfortunately, what happened is that Telltale, they got a little too arrogant with their workload. They basically they were taking on way too many projects, and because they were taking on way too many projects, their budget just fell, and because of that, they eventually had to close. But that doesn't mean that all the workers there wanted to quit what they were doing, and that's why all of them came together to create this game in collaboration with Critical Role, who also voiced a lot of characters in the game, to make possibly the best like Telltale-like game out there. But yeah, no, it's very minimal in gameplay. That's like one of the key distinctions here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Though in comparison to some of the past Telltale games, I'd say there is definitely a little more, because there are the quick time events and whatnot that some of the games had, but there are more mechanics to actually work with this time. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I do want to just like look into the choices some, because there's just a lot to choose in here. And another part I do like is after the end of every chapter, and a lot of other games have done this before, but I still like seeing it. But I just love seeing the stats of like what everyone chose throughout the story. So like choosing what heroes to have on your team, because there are a couple times within the story that you'll have to choose what members you want on your team, which will greatly affect how your dispatches will go. And then also how you treat said members. Are you going to ignore them when they insult you, or are you going to throw a chair at them and show them who's the boss?
No,
but don't worry because... Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, you speak.
Don't worry, because it still has the Telltale classic of... they give you like a couple words in order to make your decision, and then sometimes you think you're making a decision, and then the game is just it just gives you something completely separate than what you thought was gonna happen. It is a Telltale classic. It's a Telltale classic.
It is a classic thing. Like, when it comes to the big decisions, like, it's very cut and dry on what it is, thankfully. But, like, yeah, sometimes you'll mean to do one thing, and then just the character says something completely different or something just adjacent to it, and you're like, what?
Oh, okay, Robert Robertson. Go tell this person they're nice. Hey, you're really nice. That's sucking dick.
Yeah, there is a lot of crude humor in this this game, and a lot of as we have so eloquently dubbed it, Vizzy-pop dialogue.
Yeah, if we are to bring up one issue I have with the game, I think it's very well written for the most part. I do think the dialogue is a little heavy-handed, though. The idea is that because you are training these delinquents, that they're going to be a lot more edgier, a lot more raunchier, which... That's not, like, a bad thing to have as a characteristic, but the problem is that these characters say fuck so much that the meaning of the word is just lost.
I feel like that is only a couple of scenes, but those couple of
It's-
scenes like are noticeable enough to where
It's
I
not.
would agree.
I would not say it's a couple scenes. I would say that like it gets bad a couple of times, but they're very consistently saying any sort of like curse word just for the sake of saying a curse word, where it's just like they don't feel like they have meaning, and that is also my biggest complaint with the game.
Yeah, it's like the thing is that Robert himself, he does cuss, but he's also like he's much more meaningful when he cusses because he's meant to be like not really a blank slate, but he doesn't express as much emotion just because he's been through the ringer so much. So that when he does cuss, it does feel like there's more impact. But like, let's say if like Chase or Invisigal cusses, I don't really give a shit.
Whoa, you just sounded like Chase right there.
Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
don't know.
other-
Maybe I
oth-
haven't noticed it as much just because I've done blue collar work for so long that it just it passes through me. I've heard it all the time.
It's not like the biggest problem. I also just think that like the other aspects of the game are so good that it's very minute. Like I especially certain characters and character interactions that like you can shape through your choices are really good. Like my personal favorite relationship is Robert Robertson and my goat Waterboy.
True. Yeah, no, one of the cool things you can do about dispatch is that decisions matter everywhere. And one of the key decisions that you have to make is with a character named Waterboy, who is a new worker at SDN. He tries his best, but he's a janitor. His power is quote unquote useless. He's trying to make a name for himself. But Robert, because he is/was a superhero at one point, acknowledges that he is trying, and because of that, he is trying to be a good mentor and just trying to help the guy out. It's really sweet.
Yeah, and then you have the parallel to not really parallel, but the other choice of depressed Omni-Man, which is very funny.
I did not pick that choice, so I actually don't know too much about him, which is like it does add like a layer of replayability to the game of like some of the major choices, like going back and picking something else is very interesting because there's a very big decision in early-ish part of the game that like very heavily decides how you interact with the dispatching and certain stuff going forward. And I do want to at some point go back and pick the other option because there's so many character interactions and so much stuff that I just will not see because I made a choice early on.
Yeah, especially because it
that.
does affect like a lot of some of the final cutscenes as well, and like one of the final fights and areas, which is kind of crazy.
Not only that, but we don't know yet. This is not confirmed. This might also age like milk. It has not been confirmed yet that Dispatch will be getting a season 2. But however, if there were to be a season 2, a lot of these choices that you make are going to be carrying over into that season 2, creating a completely different storyline that may have happened if you made one choice different.
Yeah, considering how major some of the decisions in that game are, especially because like some of them you can just like accidentally not make by like even failing some of the gameplay mechanics. So like I am very interested to see like what they would do with that in season 2.
That's kind of like what's making me think there won't be a season 2 is people made some very different decisions and that leads to very different outcomes in the game. So I wonder how they would go about it because there's no grounded story point if you start with Robert Robertson again.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like that's what will make it so interesting though.
Yeah, they've done it for the previous game. Well, let me preface this. Telltale has done that before, especially with their Walking Dead series, they've continued to create seasons afterwards, even though the decisions that you've had to make have been wholly drastic. But it is possible. It is 100% possible, especially since they do tease some stuff by the end. But I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
But
certainly.
that's also dependent on the choices you make, because everything in this game is dependent on the choice. Like some stuff is, some of like the story beats are going to be the same no matter what. But there are some very good like big decision moments, and a lot of the game, like the game choices are just about like different charm and like small interactions, but like it very much personalizes the experience for the player, and I think that is incredibly like an incredibly important choice, and I'm a big fan. But not like the choice based part of the game is like only really half of the game. I feel like maybe even less than half sometimes, because like the main focus of the game, or not the main focus, like half of the game is through dispatching, which is a very fun mechanic, albeit simple to start with.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was pleasantly surprised by it because I will admit there was a couple times where I was like just wanting to get through the dispatch sections to see more of the story. But I was also like enjoying the dispatch sections as well because they actually had some depth to them, and I felt like there was like some variability to it as well. I couldn't just always do the same thing. They threw enough random bones at you to where I had to think on my feet a little, which kept it entertaining.
I don't know. I love the dispatching section so much. I am a fan of a lot of time management games. Very recently, I played through Pikmin 2. Pikmin 1 is one of my favorite Nintendo games. My favorite game literally is a time management game. So to see like dispatch, you as a dispatcher have to manage where your team goes and like how exactly they're going to accomplish these tasks in certain ways is so much fun, because you have to seriously think about who you're going to send and whether or not it's the best combination. These dispatches, they'll tell you what is involved with these tasks. You never see what happens in the task because frankly that'd be a lot of development and a lot of trouble. However, they basically give you a rundown of like what's going to happen. Like, oh, there are thieves who got away at the museum. You need to catch up to them, and then maybe they might be strong, so you might need to be able to apprehend them. So, based off that alone, you probably want a hero who's strong and fast. Perfect. I can send someone like Flambe, and that'd be a very good dispatch. But if I send someone who is more intellectual and conversational, like maybe Sonar, ooh, I might not do so well and might fail the dispatch. Yikers.
But you can't fill the dispatch because he's half man, half bat, all freak.
Sonar is the GOAT. He's beautiful.
Yeah, I will say I do like all the little touches they have with the dispatching as well, because it doesn't just feel like you're staring at a blank screen, even though you kind of are. You keep track of their positions the whole time, and it's like a Discord call. You can see when someone else is talking, and you'll hear their voice, and they'll have little responses for like how the job's going. There's even like a lot of custom dialogue for some of the different dispatches they can get sent on. Like one of them's for like doomsday basically, and then someone's asking for a goddamn coffee, and then they're like, why the fuck are you sending me to go get a coffee? I just love that there's extra little dialogue for that to spice it up.
I love the coffee run because it's an achievement.
Yeah, no, same here.
Did all of us get the coffee?
I think all of us got coffee.
No, I failed it.
You failed the coffee?
I failed the coffee. I think
no way.
I think I put like the person that I needed was off, and all of my people were too specialized. So the person that I like had on it, I can't remember exactly who it was, but they had none of the stats that I needed, so I just failed. It was really funny because that was the only dispatch I failed on the final day.
That's
So funny.
That is
Because that final dispatch is hard.
The final dispatch, like the dispatching is not easy, and I like when you first start out, you're like you feel like the dispatching is gonna play like second fiddle to the everything else, and then it just really doesn't, and it's a very big focal point of the game. But I love the resource management of it all, and as someone who has his best friend is a 911 dispatcher, I was very like interested in learning about all of like the intricacies. Even though I know it's a video game, it's not gonna have all the intricacies. But like what it means to like be a dispatcher was cool to learn.
Yeah. Well, especially like you were saying, like your hero failed the coffee run because they didn't have the specific stats. So like even though you do have a lot of great heroes that were suited for it, when you have so many tasks popping up and you're getting just mounted with calls, sometimes you have to just make those imperfect decisions and just hope they go for the best, because that's all you can do. Which is why Waterboy gets sent on a 10% success rate mission where he fights a whole gang of thugs. I love to see it.
And then he makes it through.
And then he clutches. Like, that's why we love him.
That's why we love Waterboy. But like I think what makes both the dispatching and the story so good is the characters of it, because like the dispatching would not be good if the characters were uninteresting, because a good amount of the dispatching is like min-maxing your specific character, because they each have since they're superheroes, they get abilities and you can like upgrade them, or you can upgrade their stats, or you can upgrade their abilities, and they'll get like brand new stuff that will make like dispatching easier over time, and it's very interesting. But like each character is very different in terms of like personality, in terms of motivation and all that, but like they all have like a common ground of being part of the same task force and coming from places that were not the best.
Yeah, certainly. I do like how different all the abilities are for them as well, because like you have Invisigirl, whose ability is pretty simple. If she gets sent alone, then she'll get there a lot quicker and get a little stat boost. And then you have Sonar, who is usually a very intelligence-based build until you send him out on dispatch and he comes back. Then he turns into like a Mega Bat, and his intelligence gets turned into strength instead. So there's a lot of planning around your superheroes kind of being like idiots and mess ups a lot of times.
Yeah, his intelligence turns into strength, and then his conversation skills turn into vitality.
Yeah, it is a very like cool ability. I think every single character has like some very interesting abilities that you can like work around. Like my personal favorite, Prism, her whole thing is if you put her into a dispatch with someone else, she'll make a clone of them that gives like it's like half their stats, and it's a min-max, like min-maxer's dream of you have this like really strong ability, but now you have to maximize how often she's put out, or do you have to put her out by herself because this dispatch is about to run out and now you can't use her ability, and now this other dispatch might fail because of you don't have enough like manpower. It gets really tough. I sucked at the dispatching until the final day.
It's kind of funny you mentioned Prism. I do kind of view her as like a blueprint from Balatro. Copies the.
I was just about to say the same
stats
thing.
Next to her, yeah, she's a blueprint.
No, it's beautiful. I mean, that's also just our Balatro brain rot. But yeah, no, like, that's the thing about the characters as well, is that while you're leveling them up, they'll also gain new abilities. So you have to build them in a way that not only fits what you want them to be, but also fits with them among each other. Because a lot of their abilities are tied to each other, and they only work as well if they're with other people. Like Invisigal, she has an ability that she can unlock that if she pairs with other people in a dispatch, everyone in that dispatch, if successful, will gain 25% more 25% more XP for when leveling up, which is really huge when trying to make sure that you can min-max all your stats. Or, like we said, Prism with the blueprint ability, some of them maybe don't need other people to work as well. Like, Flambe has a really good ability. He has a win streak, basically, where if you send him on dispatches that succeed over and over again, he will gain more strength and mobility until it's capped. It's very strong.
Oh yeah, and then you have ones that are like straight up detrimental, because Phenomenon, which you can get at some point in the game, he has pretty good stats, especially over the hero you could choose over him. His biggest downfall is that if a dispatch fails, he will get depressed and cannot be sent out on a call
for 45 whole seconds, which is a lot.
Yeah, no,
it is a lot. Yeah.
And so the whole name of the game is uh, figuring out if you're gonna risk it for the biscuit, or if you're going to like play it safe but potentially like just fail some dispatches automatically because you just don't have the right people.
Yeah.
It's a really, I think it's a very fun gameplay loop.
There was a really funny one that happened to me where it was a simple job. I was trying to send like I think flambe and one other person too, but the thing is I hadn't sent out Waterboy in a while. And if you don't send out Waterboy for a while, he really wants to help. So he joined the call and I couldn't tell him no. And fire guy and the water guy did not mix well together, and they ended up failing. And especially it was a really dangerous task too, so Waterboy got injured. And I was just thinking of that image online of like the dog doesn't know that it's begging for boiling water because that's what happened to him.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's a very like personal game experience. No one is going to experience the game quite the same as someone else, and I love that about it, because someone that might have like a 20% chance of completing a dispatch is gonna complete the dispatch over someone that has like a 70% chance. It's of course there's some luck involved, although you can definitely like min-max to minimize the luck. But it's a good gameplay loop that is, again, like I'm gonna reiterate a point, accentuated by the characters, because the characters in this game are amazing, and not only are they amazing, they are also voice acted incredibly, because it is a stacked cast of voice actors. Like I know Guy is very excited about one voice actor in particular, but like Robert Robertson is voiced by Aaron Paul, who you may have heard of from, I don't know, Breaking Bad. You got Laura Bailey.
You have some YouTubers as well. Moist Critical.
Yeah, you got Moist Critical, Jacksepticeye. No, it's insane.
A short Irish guy who punches people in the balls. Who I was also about to kill because he failed an 85% call for me. So screw you, Jacksepticeye.
You have Jeffrey. I forgot about Jeffrey Wright. You have Jeffrey Wright. You have Alana Pierce, I think, is also a YouTuber. You have John. You have not John. You have Young Gravy.
Yeah, he's Golem.
Yeah, it's genuinely so funny. There's also another big voice actor, but I'm gonna not say something. I'm not gonna talk about that person in particular, because the person he voices, as soon as you recognize the voice, you're like, oh, I know who this is. But like the voice acting cast was part of the reason that I was excited to play this game, I will be honest, because I watched Moist Critical more recently, but as a child I watched a lot of Jacksepticeye, a lot of that, so I was like, I'm excited for this game. And then Aaron Paul's a good actor. He's in Breaking Bad, of course. He's in Invincible.
He's in BoJack Horseman. He's in a lot of indie side projects. I mean, hell, he was on Black Mirror. Definitely not one of the most popular actors of the modern age. Nah.
Yeah.
Jesse Pinkman was a very minor role.
Yeah, it was a very minor
in an indie
role.
TV show.
But it's genuinely just a very stacked list of voice actors, because it is co-produced, I believe, by Critical Role, who have a very strong presence in the video game acting scene. They are everywhere. The entire cast of Critical Role is everywhere for video game voice acting and animated voice acting, anything like that, they will be there. And I think the voice acting of this game is incredible, besides all the cussing.
Literally, it's just bro, you don't need it.
But it's a very stacked cast, and I can't mention that enough, because it was genuinely a treat how good they all acted.
No, it really is a treat, because every single member or at least most, I'm pretty sure all of them, all of Critical Role is involved in this game, and these guys are like professional voice actors. Not only that, but like we said before, we have some YouTubers, we have some very high-end actors. No, it's just like overall, the production value of this game is super high-end, and to add on to that, the art style. Oh my god, the game looks so good artistically. Like, I really like the character designs. I really like the comic book-esque aesthetic they're going for, with also, like, slow down frame rate. I think it looks so good.
Definitely.
I would
doesn't
agree.
feel like you're flipping through a book in some of the moments.
It's genuinely really good. Like, I just don't think the game has, like, any bad points. For me, like, I'm gonna, like, bring this up just quickly. The only reason I gave it like a shallow score was because it's a short game that is really good at what it does, but I don't think it's like once in a lifetime game. I did thoroughly enjoy it though. It was genuinely like very fun, but it's also it's a very short game. I beat it in 8 hours. Like,
it's only 8 hours long.
Yeah,
it's very short.
Each chapter was only an hour. And now all the chapters are out, but like they deliberately released chapters weekly in order to get people like hyped for each chapter. It was basically like a TV show, but an interactive one. It was. I kind of regret not playing the game while it was like that, because I have a feeling like waiting every week genuinely like added so much to the enjoyment.
And for me, because I actually did play this game as it was releasing, because I was having after how they released it is that every Wednesday they would release 2 episodes, and then you'd have to wait another week for other episodes, which a lot of people were not a fan of. But the thing is that Telltale, it was so much worse back in the day. Sometimes you would have month-long waits, and that's just not fun. But I really like the week wait aspect to it, because it is like similar to a TV show. I'm pretty sure this game was pitched as a TV show at first, but it changed like, you know, drastically as development went on. I know at one point in development, this is crazy. They were considering having the game be all live action, but still have the choice making in it.
That I know other like types of games that have done that, and it just doesn't. I don't think it works. I think live action games can have a place, but I think it's incredibly gimmicky, and having Dispatch having like the beautiful art style and some of like the cartoony aspects that the game did, especially with like some of its physical comedy, would not have worked in live action.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy how early they have tried live action though, because at like 1992, like I remember there was a game called Night Trap that was like live action. It wasn't really choice based, but there was stuff you would do to interact with it, and there was like so much controversy over it.
What's that?
A lot of reasons. Some of it is just because some of the ladies in the game weren't like super well clothed, but that was like kind of by 1992 standards. The game is very tame in all honesty, but it was really funny. Like in court, a person that was the lawyer that was representing Nintendo, like very adamantly was saying, this game will never be on a Nintendo system ever. And then a couple decades later, Limited Run releases a physical version of it. You can play on the Nintendo Switch portably.
Awesome.
I love the random lore.
We love random lore.
Gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
But I mean, I think that's like kind of it for Dispatch. Like it's like we said, it's a very short game. I mean, we could talk about spoilers, but I don't really think that's all that necessary.
I'd say there's a couple I want to mention, and I will say,
Brewer has a story for this.
Yeah,
I get to the chase. You have a story for this.
Yeah, I do have a story for this, and if you want to hear that story, that's great. But you should play the game first. And like Liam mentioned, it's very short. It literally takes like 8 hours to beat, and each chapter that you spend like an hour on, you'll definitely want to be booting up the next one. So, hey, if you haven't played it, please get the hell off this video and go play Dispatch. It's a great game. Thank you for watching, but please go away now.
Support your indie devs. Play it.
Yeah. But other than that, if you have played it and you want to hear the story, spoiler section in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so before I get into my funny story, does anyone have very personal parts of of the choices they made in Dispatch they want to talk about?
I have my one funny choice, which is the game really wants you to like Invisigal. I did not. I did not get the good ending of the game because I did not give Invisigal enough. I didn't put her on enough dispatches, so she then just became a villain, and I genuinely did not even care. I thought I was like, okay, I don't feel bad at all. That's it.
You kind of sound like Peter Griffin saying, "I don't care for the Godfather right now."
I don't care for Invisigal.
I don't care for the Invisigal. That's kind of crazy. I actually liked her character a lot. I mean, I'd still chose Blonde Blazer over her, like in the end, but like I did really enjoy both of them.
It's funny. I got the rare 7%. Choose both women.
Oh, really, guy? Man, who would have guessed? The guy who goes for the harem ending in Persona every playthrough he can.
Actually, go for the harem ending in Persona.
Not an ending, but in the Persona games.
Oh, do you do the like harem thing on Valentine's Day?
Hell yeah, I do.
Oh, you're so lame, bro.
It's so funny,
bro. Futaba's 15.
Oh no, I have no want for a relationship with her. I just think it's funny.
That's very interesting.
In full fairness, a lot of the relationships in Persona 5 are questionable.
I'd say over half of them are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of them are fine in the context of Joker as a student dating another student, but then you have Joker dating a teacher, which, yeah, not teacher, exactly their best.
30-year-old reporter, albeit hot, but doctor. Anyways, let's get back to Dispatch.
Yeah, guy likes to choose the harem endings. I'm pretty sure he did for Persona 3 as well, because he also thought he had to if he wanted to max out all the links.
Okay. I did think that wasn't an actual mechanic. Not in Reload, but I still wanted to do it because it was funny.
You would have done it regardless.
Yeah, no, that's what I just said. Yeah, because it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, getting back to Dispatch though. Yeah. I did get the rare elusive fell for both.
And congratulations, you're a prick.
I'm a horrible person, yes.
You're a horrible person, congrats.
Let's go.
Is there an achievement for that? I feel like there is. It should just pop up and say, you're a piece of shit.
I wish there was. I really wish there was. There isn't.
Oh my god. It's crazy.
I know.
I think my interesting statistic, and it's not exactly like this is an uncommon one, but I am the only one in our group who got this because I'd say about like midway through the game, Chase is talking about Shroud, and you can tell him what you think about Shroud and what you're gonna do when you see him. I said I'm gonna kill Shroud. Like I've had enough of this guy. And then lo and behold, when the moment comes, I stuck to my word because I am not a candy ass. I wasn't gonna be like, oh man, killing people is bad. No, I murked him. I choked him out. Everyone was watching. They were surprised I was not, because I knew from the moment I saw that decision, I was clicking on it. Because like the great man Peacemaker has said, Batman has a bunch of villains that always come after him because he's too much of a candy ass to kill them. That's why they break out of Arkham and kill a bunch of people. So Batman indirectly kills a lot of people. Peacemaker, though, he doesn't have that problem. All of his villains are 6 feet under. So, by John Cena's creed, I decided I would also make sure that Shroud was not breaking out of Gotham.
Wow.
So real. So real.
So I got like the 30% of you stayed true to your word, which is very funny when me and guys saw it, because I was hoping they would actually track it, and they did.
It's really funny because like It goes from the statistic page goes from Chase talking to Robert saying like you stayed true to your word, and then the next page is just like a POV of Shroud getting choked by Robert.
It is really funny. It's the timing that made it so great as well.
Funny. It's so fucking funny. Oh my god.
It's like
The
one
scene
part of me
itself
knows like
is not hilarious, but
the scene itself isn't funny. I know like morally, I think it kind of goes against some of the messaging of the game, especially with some of the endings you can get, especially the ending I got as well of like, because I forgave like about everyone. I forgave Invisigal, forgave Coop, not Shroud though. Shroud's different. Shroud, I'm
you put
taking
him
the
6 feet
gloves
up here,
off.
as Peacemaker would say.
Yeah, as Peacemaker would say.
That is really funny. I cannot lie.
Yeah.
I still think the image of like just normal ass Robert working on his Mecha Man suit to him choking the fuck out of Shroud is so funny.
No, it's great.
You stayed true to your word.
You stayed true to your word. You were not a candy ass, and that's what matters.
Oh god, it's so funny. Yeah, no,
I love it. I love this game. It's great.
It's so good. It's like okay. Besides that, like the game is also just really funny when it wants to be. Like don't be wrong, some of the dialogue can have some issues, but I do think there are some pretty good jokes. Like in the last episode, apparently I got like the worst statistic on this one. I made Invisigal tuck the guy's dick back into his pants.
That's crazy.
I will say that is one of the instances we were talking about of like you choose one thing and you kind of don't know what they're gonna do, because like when a guy's dick was hanging out, I kind of thought Robert was gonna just maybe flip him over so it wouldn't be exposed, but no, he kind of grabbed his pants and he tried to make sure it was properly covered. I was like, okay, Robert, you didn't really need to do all that, but good for you.
No, yeah, no, literally. I didn't expect Invisigal to tuck in his dick. He's like, bro, what?
That's kind of crazy.
You didn't have to, but you could have just left him there, and I would have been okay with it. But no, it didn't give me that option.
Just leave it hanging in the air.
Hey man, look, he was a villain. He probably needed his dick to be shown, like for embarrassment reasons. It's redemption. That's what the Phoenix program is all about.
I mean, there were a lot of dicks shown on screen anyways.
That
Like
is
literally in the
true.
first hour of the game.
The game does have an obsession with penis.
And tits.
Oh yeah, no, really funny side tangent. The Nintendo Switch version of Dispatch will not give you the option to turn off the sensors. So no matter what, you are going to be seeing those dicks in a black box.
Yeah, I feel like that's an episode for another day, just talking about censorship in general. Because that situation
True.
does kind of suck.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But hey,
It'd be like that. But yeah.
Hey, yeah, maybe if you guys want to see a video about that in the future, let us know down in the comments. And then maybe also hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video as well.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been our episode on Dispatch. Catch you later.
Night, everybody.
Bye.